Welcome back to Tran wins Baldur's Gate 3. Today we'll be going, what's it called, bar crawling? We're taking half our crew to each bar. Mostly because we don't really need the full fighting force almost ever. Pretty much never. You've seen what a single character can do, whether it's Astarion or Lae'zel. But it just gets really crowded in these small indoor spaces. Here's Lakrissa, who we've known from the beginning of the game.
Well, look what the bugbear dragged in. Can't believe we both made it to the city, and with our limbs attached.
Didn't we make a bet in the Druid's Grove? You didn't think you'd survive, yet here you are.
We did, didn't we? Never thought I'd begrudge being alive. Alas, I've got nothing in my pockets but lint and disappointment.
You owe me nothing. Don't worry about it.
How are you both humble and attractive? It's just not fair, nor will my honor allow it. So how about this? Alan puts swill in the bottles, but I know where he keeps the good stuff. Here. You saw nothing. You heard nothing. I need to get back to work before Alan throws a fit, but stick around. You brighten the place up.
By talking to her, she's going to announce
Break time. Heading to the roof. Sort your own drinks in the meantime.
she'll repeat this constantly as she tries to make waypoints towards the roof, but we can talk to her one last time for a different dialogue.
What can I get you? Make it as easy as possible and leave a big tip. Thanks.
She says she gives us something from Ellen's booze locker or whatnot, but we get no items for this. That's fine. And also, when I first started playing this game, I thought if I made the bet with her, she'd survive. After having experienced more of how the game actually functions, I'm going to assume that she survives under most circumstances, provided that you probably fight off the goblins and rescue her from the prison, and maybe don't kill Isabel. I don't know what other conditions might be, but that's my guesses from having played the game up this way. But I kind of thought, well, we'll make this a bet, so that way she has the drive to continue. I don't think that probably matters.
Where's Alfira? The two of you are usually together, no?
Check the roof. But you didn't hear that from me. Break time. Heading to the roof.
Pan away so we can talk. Because she heads to the roof and she'll be hanging around Alfira, when I try to talk to Alfira, it'll be the dual conversation rather than the Alfira-specific conversation, but I have a way around that. Also, in my original script, I thought maybe we go run up to the top, speak to Alfira, but it seemed less natural doing it that way, so I came up with a completely different way that is even more unnatural, but is interesting for a video. Alright, since we've already talked to her and now sent her upstairs, there's a couple people we might want to chat with. Not sneak attack. Talk to this waiter.
So I spat in his last one.
La la la, dee da dee dum dee dee, bum bum bum.
Have you ever thought about becoming a bard? Because if you have, you shouldn't.
Very funny. If that joke wasn't older than I am, I'd laugh.
You talk about the honor of your order, but what about my honor? I made a deal.
Stug, if you want to join the Vigilant Knights, you have to quit beating people up.
Does someone need to get beaten up? I can handle that.
I'm supposed to bust up this guy what owes money to Uktar of the Guild, but Gerva says if I want to join her order, that's a no-go. But I already took the money for it from Uktar, so I gotta follow through. It's like an oath or something. And I know you understand oaths, Gerva.
What am I going to tell the Vigilant Knights, Stug? That you're knee-breaking for goodness?
Tell you what, Stug. Give me the money Uktar paid you for the job, and then you're off the hook.
Helmsgaze, you sound like a guild lawyer. You must think I'm pretty dumb. And maybe I am. Because I'm going back to return Uktar's money. Don't wait up, Gerva. Might take me a while to crawl back home with two busted knees.
That's actually kind of the theme for this video, is that we'll offer self-serving ideas, but yet somehow it all works out in the end. It's weird, but that was never my intention. You'll see as we continue.
Hello, old friend. Oh, so I assume. I used to know everybody around town, but now I'm a new man.
A new man? Who were you when you were an old man?
A worried man, a playwright who'd lost the will to write. Now I worry no more. Can't write a word? What does it matter?
We've seen that kind of influence before.
But we only have 8.
He's got on his table, surrender your burdens. Does sorrow grip your heart? Does rage cloud your mind? Do you ever wish to surrender all that holds you back in life? It can be so at the House of Grief. To be unburdened of your troubles is to be reborn. Seek us out, and we shall discover the very best version of you. So I do think that's kind of a nice touch, that it has more influence in the city than just we enter a dungeon and kill everybody inside.
Well, aren't you a sight for sore eyes? Made it out of the Underdark in one piece, I see. I owe you a debt of gratitude, believe it or not. When you healed my husband, Balin, I thought my life was over. Turns out, it was just beginning.
I admit, I've been wondering about the two of you.
You should have been. Balin was an awful, violent man. Would have killed me if I stayed. And truth be told, if you hadn't healed him, I might have done the same to him.
What will you do now that you're done with the shop?
The shop? The bloody shop. Thing was like a noose around my neck, getting tighter every day. You don't realize how much your life is choking you until you can breathe again. Turns out I didn't hate life. I hated that life.
Met him in your shop. He seems to be doing well.
Happy as a pig in shit, I'm sure. 80 years we've been married. 70 of them, he was a mean, violent man who loved nothing but the drink. Him losing his mind softened him and hardened me. I hated him so much. More than I knew a person could carry. And now I wasn't too scared to show it. But it brought no relief. Not really. So when you turned him back, I turned mine.
So he got well, then you left him.
Sure I did. Before he could do me any worse damage than he did for the first 70 years of our marriage. Had to be practical about it. Slip out while he slept. I knew if I stayed there, it'd be the death of me. Balin made my life hell. And when I had the chance to return the favor, I took it. That's no way to live. Now we're both free. I don't have much now, but a bit of peace is worth an awful lot.
Glad to see you're doing well.
You know what? So am I. And I hope Balin finds his peace while he still can, too. It's nice to see a familiar face. After living a hand's breadth away from Balin most of my life, I've forgotten how to be alone. Maybe I'll get to courting after a little while. Then again, maybe I'll just get a cat. You take care now, all right? Be sure you do. Life's too short not to.
So having done many different playthroughs to get to back to this point with our party, involving just a noble stock, we had 4 options. Number 1, we could have just eaten it with any of our characters for a quick heal. Number 2, we could have given it to Dareth so that she could sell it in her shop. Number 3, we can give it to Balin so he can get healed. And number 4, we can give it to Shadowheart so that she develops more of her backstory. We picked the most, what at the time, destructive and chaotic choice there, which was give it to Balin so he can heal himself and then create this marriage spat, I guess. But in all, it actually healed them both emotionally, allowing them to separate themselves. Balin realized what kind of person he'd become, and that maybe he wasn't getting along with Dareth. And Dareth realized what kind of person she'd become, getting revenge on Balin for her 7 years of marriage. That was absolutely not my intention, but somehow it all worked out in the end. Okay. Oddly enough, there's a key on the floor right here, but it is going to be counted as stealing. I don't think we really need it. It's just easier to lockpick than to deal with however we want to pick that up. Let's talk to this dude.
You look as out of place here as I feel. What say you? Should I have another? You'll need to preserve me. I need the courage.
Of course, deep courage comes from a full belly.
No, I guess I've had enough. The brewer who made this beer used to buy all of our barley. But that's over now. Left the crops standing in the fields when we ran from the Absolute Army. Gone. All gone.
But you had enough left for a drink.
One, and I shouldn't have had even that. Got work to do. Oldest boy, Corson. He means well, but he eats as much as the rest of us put together. I have to find him a place here.
Life is meant for the living. The boy must find his own path, as I did, as we all must.
I appreciate that some might find me a soft touch, but he's my son. I'll make no apology for looking out for him. Corson's strong, but he's a gentle soul. Easy to take advantage of. A fancy feller called Three-Piece wants to place him as a cleaner in the counting house. But I don't trust him. Maybe I should just join the Flaming Fist and take the signing bonus. What else can I do?
I hear the Amateur Temple at Worms needs volunteers. They don't pay, but at least the boy will eat.
Ah, that's a solid tip. Could work out for a gentle kid like Corson. Thanks, stranger. You helped settle my mind. Thanks are all I have to offer, though. Mail meter bleed for you.
Who else do we want to chat with? This couple over here.
Drink up, Blas. We're celebrating. If you won't drink with me, I bet this stranger will. Right, stranger?
What are you celebrating? Maybe I will.
I'm Clovia Throaks. Pleased to meet you. Our son Gaspar has finally found himself a proper job.
Aye, security at the Steel Watch Foundry. But I still wish he'd taken up the family business.
Now, Blas, you know Gaspar never had the patience for all the stitching a tailor has to do.
A tailor? That's good honest work.
Sewing rabbit skin cloaks? Well, that's all right for some, I guess, but not for our Gaspar.
No, our Gaspar preferred hanging around the guild hall. I was afraid he was going to end up as a guild bone breaker.
Good thing I introduced him to darling Tamia Holst. She straightened Gaspar out, found him a place in the foundry.
Lars, right? Are you serious about getting Gasper to join your business?
Serious? I'd promote him from rat catcher, full partner.
No, Blas, I've been trying to tell you something all night. I'm leaving you. I'm starting a new life with Tamia. I'm going to sell the business. The money we used to start it was mine in the first place. I'm afraid that's it for Throaks for Cloaks. Oh, dear. The bottle's empty. Let's have another and talk about it.
I think I need to take a walk. In a minute.
I'm gonna have to check. I remember reading a note on one of the dead bodies of the security guards we found there, and it said that how proud they were that he had a job. And that might have been their son here, so I guess we just killed him. But yeah, to remember that they were very, very well aware, the Bay Knight guards, that they were enslaving the Iron Hand gnomes. Even if I had known that that's their son, we probably still would have done the same thing, just as we killed that one druid at the very beginning of the game that wanted to keep us from turning into a mind flayer. Our character, being neutral evil, is all about freedom of choice, whether that's good or bad, and the consequences that come with it.
Aye, aye. Pull up a seat. If you can find one spare, that is.
Business going well?
With all this talk of war, what else are folk to do but drink? I reckon the murder we'd had something to do with it too. Got punters all intrigued. On that morbid note, what can I get you fine self?
Tell me more about the murder.
Going to make this place famous, I reckon. Victim is a bloody duke. Boleyn Stelmane. Well, she was a duke. Now she's just bloody. I reckon I'll be able to charge double for that room once the constable's done with it. Murders and ghosts are always grand for business. At least, I hope.
He mentioned the Constable. That'd be Devella. That's the lady we saved at the Figaro's Facemakers. I'm going to separate into the another timeline. That's how you know I'm wearing the Oathbreaker armor. And show you what could have happened if we encountered Devella there instead of at Facemakers. Right now, the room is completely empty, even though he just mentions when the Constable's done with it. We haven't changed the lines to reflect that. Just as they hadn't reflected the Gasper Throats lines about the Steel Watch Foundry already being completely destroyed.
I'm looking for a place to stay.
I tell you what, the murder upstairs has brought some punters, but it's also really spooked folk out of renting rooms. If we get you staying up there, perhaps folk will calm down and realise there's naught to worry about. You can have the whole upstairs floor until this killer thing blows over.
I actually, as a player, I actually don't want this room because it makes our camp look way more boring. But for the video purposes, I'll go ahead and pay him this time and then I'll show you the room. But just know that moving forward past the bar crawl episodes, whether it's 1 or 2, we will be having the normal camp and not the inn camp.
You're optimistic. What makes you so sure it'll all blow over?
The city always wins. There's always some hero that saves the day. It's the way things work.
Hand over the gold.
Top floor's all yours. If it gets a bit too noisy at night, well, don't sleep above a pub.
And of course, frequently, even though we have choices to intimidate or discount with persuasion, we typically pay them. Our character is rich. This is the alternative timeline because we already met Devella in the primary timeline, so explore what happens if this is the first place we go to.
Halt, Civvy. Turn back. This is an active crime scene.
Hold on, Thorneal. I'm tired of standing here. Devella's been up there for ages. Some diversion would be welcome.
What crime?
We are not at liberty to discuss an active.
Everybody knows Duke Stelmane was murdered here, Thorneal. Chances are the constable will throw you down the stairs, but go ahead, citizen. I could do with something to break the monotony.
In our timeline, these guards are not here, and upstairs is completely empty.
Stelmane's parlor. A place to receive clients and informants. I wonder if it's as I remember it.
Guys, are you... Apparently they don't know how to go up the Z-axis. Come on, guys, up these stairs. You know how stairs work, right?
I wonder if this was brewed with my
Oh, I think
barley.
they probably... They looks like they actually lagged through the floor. There we go. The still answer is no, they don't know how stairs work. You don't walk through them. I'll leave that in.
Brewed with my barley.
We must cleanse the ill. Faerun's impotent godlings have failed
She isn't
us.
that bad.
Oh, bollocks! I told those idiots not to let anyone through. You. Name, rank, and reason for interrupting an active crime scene. For your sake, the last one better be bloody good.
Tran, adventurer, curiosity.
An adventurer? Fantastic. We don't have enough of those in Baldur's Gate. Unless you've got useful information, leave me to my work. Duke Stelmane's dead, and I've got to find who killed her.
Was it an aspiring Baal cultist by any chance?
Baal? That's exactly what I... Wait. How do you know about that?
Never mind me. How do you know about Baal's resurgence?
It's becoming something of an obsession of mine. You see, these murders have been cropping up all over the city. They're always the same. Victim paralysed by poison. Absolutist symbol scrawled on the floor in blood. Hand removed pre-mortem. The symbol's the bit that bothers most. You use poison when you want to get away with murder. So why leave a symbol at the scene of the crime? Doesn't make any sense. And the removal of the hand pre-mortem. The unnecessary brutality of it. It's got to be connected to Baal. It's just got to be. Now your turn. What do you know about this?
Tell her about the murder target list you found.
Gods. That's it. Proof that I was right. I'll tell you what I know. A century ago, there was a man. Saravok Anchev. He was a child of the god of murder, Baal.
Baal has a new chosen in Baldur's Gate, Orin. I suspect she's behind this.
God save us all if you're right. But I believe it. Whoever it is, they're intimately familiar with Saravok's work.
What about the other victims on the list? The ones who are still alive?
There are patriarchs on the murder target list. I'm oathbound to secure them first, so I'll be heading to the upper city next. While I'm there, the other potential victims will be at risk. Could you warn them?
That's your job, not my problem if you only want to help the rich.
You don't seem to understand. My job is to help the rich first. But fine, if you're not interested in helping, I guess I'll just have to try and convince my superiors to put some resources into this matter. Once I've secured the patriarchs, I'll head to Basilisk Gate. Meet me there if you have a change of heart.
And of course, I just picked that option to see more different dialogue options. Let's take a look at this list. I don't recall seeing any patriarchs on it. Killed, 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 killed. Then there's Highbury. That's the wine festival. This is the tailor that we interrupt him in. Here's the person that's right below us, 2 stories down. Nesha Lisha. We can warn her she's standing in front of the Blushing Mermaid. Oh, I guess there are 2 that are here. Okay, I didn't recall that. Take a look around the room. Trying to click on this. Ah! Let's zoom in. That's a huge ring.
Bloodied ring. Guess the killer didn't want jewelry.
All the Talons await her blessing.
Deceased Duke Belen Stelmane. Private room upstairs at Elfsong Tavern. Okay, I understand that the Emperor has a hideout here, but it's weird to me to think that a person's basically staying at a hotel room, even though she's nobility. That's like having your mayor of your town staying at Motel 6. I know that the Emperor has a room about 3 to 4 stairs down. I get that. But this seems like an odd residence for royalty. Ritualistic killing, right hand missing, clean severance, likely before death. Mark of the Absolute on the floor. Empty bottle, recently drained of contents. Maybe poison? Suspect Baldur ritual, but won't tell Valeria that.
It smells divine.
Apparently this counts as stealing. If anybody sees us through the window, they'd be unhappy. The map of the city bears a single marker, the location of one murder site, where the slain were arranged into a grotesque tableau? I'm not familiar with that word. Journal updated, investigate the murders. We found a wider Ballis plot, save them if possible, and get more information about the Ballis cult. Oh, that's nothing. And back here, behind these bottles, discarded wine bottle.
That might be worth a look. Strange bottle. Even stranger smell.
A strong paralytic poison. We obviously already know who it is, but that's what you would get if you hint here first. Let's take a look at our rented rooms. If you stay long enough in this room, you'll hear a song, which will include either at the end of this episode or as its own half episode. All of your characters are lined up as if they're in a military barracks. Halsin, because of the recent patch, I didn't get Minthara and Halsin through normal means. Well, Halsin we got through normal means, but Minthara I got through a mod. The game doesn't quite know where to place them, I guess. I'm not sure. Because there's not enough beds, it looks like, for Halsin and Minthara. Everybody's lined up in front of a bed. You have 4 over here if you wish to rest. There's no campfire. There's a... I don't know if you pronounce this hookah. And over here we'll find a desk with the song that appears, or that you can hear here if you stay long enough. Even Withers and the Oathbreaker, Mizora, Ravenguard, they all are here in your room. Here's the song. We'll let you pause if you wish to read that, but I will make an episode somewhere of the song. I don't know where it's going to be put. And we also got the homeless girl and her cat. It's a very large room for 200 gold. Jeez. Now we're back inside the inn. But yeah, we can access that camp from anywhere that we make camp.
Only because I had you.
Breathe deep and move.
Our characters will find a false stone somewhere in this area, right there.
That is curious.
Meager items. Speaking to Lakrissa or Alfira will involve a special dialogue between the two of them. I can't speak with Alfira by herself at this point. However, I've arranged something. And maybe if we were to rest, she'd go away, but we're just gonna do it this way. Put on these boots of feigned death. Knock her out. She'll be okay. And now we'll just talk to Lakrissa. Hey, what's up?
It's you! Look at us! We made it to the city! We made it to the Elfsong Tavern!
I'm shocked you haven't been arrested for making all that noise.
How dare... The clouds have been most appreciative of my performance. Lakrissa lets me practice up here when she's on shift downstairs. She's too good to me. But you... I have a bone to pick with you, oh brave adventurer.
Cross your arms, looking unimpressed.
Your grumpy face may scare the others, but I'm afraid I'm made of sterner stuff. I've decided I'm not going to perform in the Elfsong. Mainly because only the Elfsong itself is allowed to perform. I'm going to open up a school of bards, the best in the realms, to usher in a new age of magic and musicianship. And it's because of you that I dared to dream big enough.
Well, I think you should name your school after me, don't you?
You and Lahala's names in bold. I like it. Deal. Here. My very first lute, tuned to perfection. Thought you'd appreciate it when I'm rich and famous. Take care, my friend. Thank you for helping a stumbling bard in a druid's grove find her spark again.
We can pickpocket her loot, or we can trade her loot. Either way, she'll say, I was going to give you something, but it seems I've been fallen victim to Baldur's Gate's sticky fingers. Just imagine I gave you my very first loot. That's what she says. Let's now talk to the couple.
Ah, you found my hiding spot. Not a word to Alan. He doesn't believe in things like breaks. Or eating.
Lakrissa, I'd be more than happy to help you out at work. I could...
No, focus on your music. Besides, I'll be living a life of luxury when your school takes off.
If you need help, just say the word.
No need. I'm looking after my girl Alfira. Isn't that right, sweetie pie?
Lakrissa!
All right. The hero and I will stop teasing. For now.
Baldur's Gate has a very large representation of same-gender couples, and most of it seems forced, but this one seems fitting.
How's your shift going?
A rich arsehole sent his drink back 3 times. So I spat in his last one.
Lakrissa!
He said it was delicious.
And we pity those who would reject her. Smile.
I'll never get tired of this view.
Same here.
Rent is due soon. I was thinking I could do some busking.
No need. I picked up some extra shifts.
You didn't have to do that.
I know. I wanted to. You just focus on your music.
Let's head back inside. And now we're going to enter the cellar. Normally you would encounter about a dozen rats here, which shouldn't be any threat to you once you've reached Baldur's Gate. And I guess they just never are interested in cleaning the bodies here. Or maybe you have to do a long rest while you're inside the cellar. It might be because of our character's size, but we can't...
Good. On the other side, you'll find a passageway, known only to those invited to do business.
It might be because of our character size, but we can't actually fit through that gap. You just need to flip open that switch. You can't close this behind you. So the only reason this button exists is if you were to enter from the other side, which, again, none of it really makes sense in the scheme of things. But yes, you can't close behind you, which I think is ridiculous. It's a secret hideout. There is an optional fight here.
Get Yankee. Vlakith has found us. Get rid of them, quickly.
But you know how we roll. We're just gonna murderize everybody.
Lae'zel, glad you could join us. The Kithraki have spread word of that artifact that you carry. Tell me, Lae'zel of Kalir, what reward do you think the astral prism will fetch once I pluck it from your corpse and present it to Vlakith? What honors, what riches will the Undying Queen grant me when I hand her the failed prince?
Stand down. I protect the prism on our queen's behalf.
The Undying Queen cares not for who delivers her the prism and the traitor prince within. All that matters is that it is delivered. The false heir's head will make a fine trophy for Vlakith. As for you, I will leave nothing behind but meat and shattered bone.
Strike me and die, a failed warrior forgotten by your people.
We succeed. I was hoping to fail, but that's okay. We're just gonna hit this button right here.
Damnable whelp. For 1,000 years I have given my life to Vlakith. And you, Lae'zel, a child, an unascended, would snatch my glory for herself. You may keep your head. But I will yet be exalted. I will yet see my name carved in slate.
Yeah, a tombstone.
Alright, our characters immediately have more initiative, not because the game awards us initiative for attacking first. Lae'zel, we've gone ahead and cast greater invisibility on her. Let's go ahead and start crushing these guys. Not sure she actually took double damage. I might have been too far for the... Okay, she did take double damage. Okay, it's got a generous range. It's about this large of a range for the Resonant Stone. Alright, if we kill this guy, Lae'zel may get to move again. And this guy is over here. The Gate Masters will summon a Githyanki every other turn. There are 3 Githyanki per portal. As long as we keep the Gate Masters alive, we can rack up our body count. This is the one we want to kill. On this side, we have Will and Shadowheart. Do we want to... No, we don't want to yet cast Spirit Guardians. Step of the Wind Dash. Hop on over. This board's in the way. Okay, these guys are at least a little bit bothered by Shadowheart. Unfortunately, this guy's still too close. I want a Spirit Guardian right there. Now we'll go and cast it. He's going necrotic, it's fine. Alright, let's go ahead and hop on out. If we had done the Radiant version, they'd have Radiant Orb hitting them. But this is okay. Necrotic gives me a little something different than normal. Reason why we've done Spirit Guardians earlier is we don't want to make them break their concentration. Yeah, I managed to land just perfectly there, and now we'll go ahead and end our turn. Karlach. We still need to kill that guy. So we'll use Will instead. Can I even hit him from here? Probably not. What we could do, however, is we can open up our book and maybe cast Misty Step. Use my bonus action for the round. And we'll go ahead and start hitting them with Flashing Flourish, which is his normal attack. Yeah, that's the one we want. And if any of them are alive after the first turn, we'll have Arcane Acuity. Go and get up there. Karlach. She will only get one hop because she doesn't have Step of the Wind dash like Shadowheart has. Enrage. Can't enrage throw because we already used their bonus action, but we can throw this. Oh, come on. Action Surge. Enough movement to throw him. Alright, other Guardian is down. Now we have just her. But Lae'zel is actually still invisible. We can Shadow Strike her a second time. That would have probably been enough to kill her, I think. That was 200 damage right there. And she has just under 200 hit points. As for her other move, we could drink a speed potion and assassinate these Gate Guardians, but... Oh wait, someone's alive. Oh, this guy's alive. Let's have Tran move next.
Blood comes easy these days.
Have him fly over here. You can activate Vulnerable Murder and try... I don't think we'll be able to kill him with Tran, though. Tran is not a huge combatant because he's level 1 in everything for the dialogue options. It's still a lot of damage, 32, but it's not enough necessarily. Is there anything else we could do? And we're not concentrating things, so we can't necessarily do Concentrated Blast. Wait. Don't I have things I can... Illithid powers? This might be it. Yeah, okay, so it might just be... I don't use the Illithid powers too much, but it might just be Absorb Intellect. Not very much, it's 8 damage. Well, Flurry of blows him, which is not enough to kill him. Okay, never mind, it did kill him. That is everybody but the Gate Guardians. We have 2 over there and 2 over here. This side has Karlach and Shadowheart. Can I hop up there? Yeah, let's get Minsk up there. And now we'll just essentially camp out these things. You'd think the Gate Masters would choose to do something else besides summon people to their death, but okay.
Taking position.
Can we just Misty Step up here? It's not necessary, but it looks cooler. Will he succeeded on his concentration for greater invisibility? He succeeded that concentration even though he got critically hit. He lost his condition heroic though. That's the temporary hit points from heroism, but he still has the blessed bonus from the elixir of heroism. I give that to him so that increases his chances of doing arcane acuity. We'll have Lae'zel move a little bit more, and if her ability wears out, if her improved invisibility wears out, then we can just cast Hold Person. So that person's already dead again. We still only have 3 key points, so we can assassinate 1 more person. Let's go and just chill on this bench. As for Will, let's back him up a bit now that that's fine. Now that Tran has a bit of room to move, we can do that. And you can just drink a potion. Over Over here is nothing much is going on, fortunately, so we'll just position ourselves around this gate. Position Tran much closer. Oh yeah, her rage wore off. I forget about that. You would think being thrown into that would hurt a lot more. Not because I'm looking for any fire damage or anything, but just, it would probably snap you in half. It's inch Minsk up there. Lae'zel can't move yet. Oh, she's dead already. My bad. I didn't realize I was just that beastly. Tran, by all means, should not actually be any sort of powerhouse in battle. That dude is already almost dead. Actually, Minsk can chop him up. As I said, you'd think the Gate Masters would decide that just bugger off. Not summon people into the blender that is our team. And yeah, we do have 3 per side, and normally you have at most 2 per side. But you can see, realistically, we're just killing them with 1 action each. Lae'zel gets the move on this one, so we'll go ahead and Shadow Strike this one out. She's out of key points, and this gate is already down, so we'll close that one up. And that'll be the last on this side. She just killed them both.
Relentless. You handled it well. Let us hope she exhausts her forces soon.
Vlaakith isn't the only one who's relentless.
Now search the room. There's a statue that conceals the way through. I'll reveal it to you.
There's a bunch of notes here, but they ultimately don't mean anything because I don't know if the Knights of the Shield are just completely eradicated, but they have no presence that I know about, and it just talks about old stuff that they've done.
I can't wait to sleep.
On the body of the leader, we find boots of psionic movement. When the Githyanki cast fly, their next melee weapon attack deals an additional 1 to 4 psychic damage. So yeah, we can immediately pass this over to Lae'zel. She can slip these on. We can pass boots around a little bit. We'll put these on you. I'll figure out who should maybe wear the boots of persistence. But with this, we can add an additional 1 to 4 psychic damage just on the first strike, as long as we make her cast fly with it. We'll just put this here for now, and we'll reorganize that later. And that just helps us with the Alpha Strike. The real meat
Something over there
is over here.
That might be worth a look.
My old home. Thank you for bringing me back. Look around. You'll find some of my things still intact. Perhaps even useful to you. My old sword. My first purchase as an adventurer. No use to me anymore. It's yours, if you want it.
Alright, taking a look at it, it is a Shapeshifter Slayer. This is his first purchase as an adventurer. He must have been pretty rich, considering we can have that entire penthouse for 200 gold, and this costs 250. Depending on, of course, markups. It's got +2 blade that does 1 to 4 against shapeshifted creatures. I don't know if... Okay, on my rehearsal, this was a dominate person, so I thought there might be kind of a mind flayer tendencies there, but no, it's just random.
That's curious.
A shell. A keepsake from my final voyage. pinched in a moment of sentimentality.
That can't use this right now that pops up, that's me clicking on the unique shell one time to initiate the dialogue, but then after a couple seconds it says I can't use it. So that's not me clicking like mad or anything, that's just part of the game.
My old wardrobe, the home of all my disguises. We are what we appear to be, and so appearances matter.
You say appearances matter, yet you're always talking about how mind flayers, I should trust you and stuff, and I wouldn't trust you because you look like a mind flayer. He's got the cerebral citadel armor. You can't be frightened. If the wearer is infested by a mind flayer tadpole, they gain +1 to intelligence, wisdom, charisma saving throws. Alright. Cerebral citadel gloves. Charm or frighten a creature to gain a 1d4 to attack and saving throws. The cool thing is when you remove the chest piece, the mannequin itself loses the chest piece. But putting the chest piece back in the wardrobe doesn't do anything. It does not let you see the mannequin dressed up again. So you can't use it with any of your other gear, which would have been cool otherwise. Notes on Mind Flayer anatomy. This just talks about, surprise, surprise, genitals. It does talk about how the mucus can tell you how recently this guy is eaten, but other than that, it's just lore building text, which is good.
My cutlery set. A gift from my mother. The butter knife is missing, but otherwise it looks to be complete. I don't need it anymore, but the memory stirs something in me still.
Butterfork. The tines of this fork have clearly been bent and reshaped into place many times. I mean, it's nice that he, I guess, has all these memories. Try to sympathize you with the Astral Prism.
Something over there.
The chains I use to bind my meals. Villains and lawbreakers. You see, I tried to exercise morality where I could.
Wait, there's one over here.
That might be worth a look.
An old container for brains. Empty. Shame. It would have been nice to find one to sustain me now.
I don't see... Look, you had all those Githyanki that we killed, and we just killed some more.
That might be
There's
worth a
plenty
look.
of brains for you right there.
A recipe for fiddlehead soup. A favorite meal of mine. When I had need of meals like that.
I'll let you pause if you want to read the fiddlehead soup. Maybe try making it yourself. I don't know if it's a recipe that someone can honestly make and would taste good, but whatever. I don't know what fiddlehead is, but she says you need it. Is that like fish heads? Dog collar.
Rascal's collar. My poor four-legged friend. Their lives are so brief, so simple, and yet full.
That's everything in the Emperor's Chamber here. The other way that you could have gone into here is the sewers. And it's just blocked by a 24 hit point sturdy door. Right outside the guild hall. Literally, this is right outside the guild hall. Let's go ahead and pick this. Tran is not the best choice for picking things, but he serves in a pinch. Normally this room would be covered in gas, but you can hit any of the levers, like this one, to get the gas to stop dispensing. Through this hole and up the stairs is the bar. It's literally that. If we open up the map, that's this chamber right here, then up the stairs, and then there's Guild Ninefinger's office. Yeah. Maybe the Emperor has good relationship with the guild hall, though you think maybe that would have been brought up in any sort of conversation between the Emperor or Ninefinger's Keen. The fact that you can just pick this door, I don't know why he thinks that this would be a secure place to hole up in, but okay. Scroll to detect thoughts, a brain on the counter, and a patient log, Duke Belane Stelmane. Can't explain the relapse. Duke lacks appetite, awareness, or interest in anything. Occasionally asks after visitor, which I suspect might be cause of current condition. Duke used to receive visitor in private every 10 day, always hooded and cloaked, always shown in and left to attend Duke privately. No luck in finding, oddly enough. Can't recall visitor's gender or even stature, could be half-orc or half-ling for all I know. Hoping for their return. Visits appeared to ease the Duke's mind and body greatly. And then you have here a test, similar for Lae'zel, but you get a little target dummy for that looks like an Illithid. And that's it for the Elfsong Tavern. Let's head back up. On the way back, let's go ahead and interact with this portion I forgot to look at on the way through.
See, Boo, they have made their repairs.
My barley.
The owner once used Boo to mop up her ale, and she and Minsk had a discussion on the matter.
Trouble seems to seek you out, Minsk. I know the feeling. The larger you are, the more likely someone wishes to test themselves against you.
Minsk sometimes wishes he was small as Boo, so that he might sit and listen to the storytellers in peace.
Perhaps you should study the druidic arts. With wild shape, you could make yourself as diminutive as you please. Smaller than Boo, even.
A reminder that this isn't the...
Oh.
They say that home is where a person can be their truest selves, without guile, without pretense. You did well to see off the Githyanki who had invaded mine. And now that you have seen where I come from, you know all there is to know about me. At least, all that matters. The flavors of my favorite fiddlehead soup, should you wish to experience it for yourself. My beloved confidant and loyal companion Rascal. The very first reward I gifted myself on completion of my first adventure. The garments with which I concealed and later constructed my appearance as the Emperor. We spoke of my relationship with Duke Berlin Stelmane. A story I have told no one else. I have no more secrets from you. No need to resort to subterfuge. We are true allies now, working towards a common goal.
Why did you resort to subterfuge at all?
The only way we were ever going to get close enough to the brain to destroy it was by working together. But few would trust a mind flayer. So I did what I had to convince you. I studied you, your motivations, your actions, your desires. I deduced the best way to align your goals with my own.
And what did you learn?
That you are complex and full of contradictions. It was no easy task, but I had to persist. I needed your absolute dedication to the cause. I anticipated the challenge, and I anticipated your resistance. What I didn't anticipate was how reasonable you would be. You don't like to be coddled, cajoled, but you responded well to logic, to rational arguments, to cold, hard facts. You saw straight to the core of what really mattered.
I enjoyed our conversations.
As did I. Sometimes, I felt almost like we were dancing our way towards something deeper.
I think you misread the signs. I'm fine with what we have now.
I'm sorry. You're right. Now's not the time. Forget I said anything. Let's move on to more important things. The Elder Brain's hive mind has grown to monstrous proportions. And through the Crown's magic, it has complete control over each and every member. It was intelligent before, but now, with its hive mind established across the city, it is well on its way to becoming indestructible. We must stop it while we still can, before we too become its slaves.
And that'll conclude our episode of the Elfsong. Thank you very much for watching Tran wins Baldur's Gate 3. I'll see you next time.